Do you ever feel like you're busy all day, yet nothing really gets done? Like you're always behind, chasing deadlines, and somehow the finish line keeps moving further away? You're not alone. In a world full of distractions, dopamine triggers, instant gratification, and endless to-do lists, productivity often feels like a race we can never win. But what if I told you the real secret isn't about doing more? It's about discipline. Not the harsh, military-style discipline. I'm talking about a personal, empowering, daily rhythm that keeps you moving forward, even on the tough days. Welcome to 9 Principles of Productive Discipline. This is not just another productivity book that tells you to wake up at 5 a.m., drink green smoothies, and meditate for an hour before touching your phone. This book is about building real, sustainable discipline that fits your lifestyle and helps you achieve what truly matters to you. And here's the best part, it's easier than you think. You don't need superhuman willpower. You don't need to hustle yourself into burnout. You don't need to eliminate every pleasure from your life. What you need are principles, clear, practical guidelines you can use every single day to stay focused, stay in control, and actually enjoy the process. Let me ask you something personal. How many times have you set a goal and not followed through? A workout routine? A writing habit? A business idea? Maybe you got excited at the beginning, made a detailed plan, bought the right tools, but then, life got in the way. Motivation disappeared. Discipline vanished. And guilt showed up instead. It's time to break that cycle. This book is about rebuilding trust with yourself. It's about becoming the kind of person who does what they say they will do. Not just once in a while, but consistently. Because discipline is freedom. It gives you control over your time, your energy, and your future. Here's what you can expect from this book. You'll learn 9 powerful principles that will completely change how you think about discipline and productivity. Each principle is explained in a simple way, supported by real-life examples, and followed by actionable practices. You'll walk away from each chapter with tools you can use today, not someday. We'll cover why motivation is a myth and what works better. How to build unstoppable habits without burning out. The secret to staying focused in a distracted world. How to overcome procrastination even when you're tired. Why discipline isn't about being hard on yourself, and what it's really about. These principles aren't theoretical fluff. They're based on psychology, neuroscience, and what actually works for high-performing people. But you don't need to be a CEO, athlete, or monk to use them. You just need to be ready to take back control of your life. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was stuck. I had goals. Big ones. But I couldn't seem to move forward. My days were filled with distractions, excuses, and false starts. I kept telling myself, I'll start tomorrow. But tomorrow never came. Until I realized something important. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. So I started small. I focused on systems instead of moods. I simplified my routines. I studied what makes people truly productive. And what I discovered shocked me. It's not about talent. It's not about time. It's about principles. Since then, I've helped hundreds of people rebuild their discipline, improve their focus, and finally follow through. And now, I want to help you do the same. This book isn't magic, But if you apply these 9 principles with intention and consistency, your life will change. You'll stop spinning in circles. You'll stop starting over. You'll start building real momentum. And here's a promise: you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be willing. So if you're tired of wasting time, if you're done feeling stuck, and if you're ready to become the kind of person who follows through, then you're in the right place. One last thing before we dive into the first principle. This book is best read actively. That means take notes. Pause after exercises. Reflect. Come back to certain chapters if you need to. Don't rush through it just to finish. Instead, focus on mastering each principle. You'll get far more value by applying one idea deeply than by reading 100 without. Published by Audiobooks Hub. Principle 1. Discipline is a system, not a mood. If you wait until you feel like it, you'll wait forever. Most people misunderstand discipline. They think it's a personality trait, something you're either born with or not. But here's the truth: discipline is not a feeling. It's a system. A reliable process that works whether you're tired, distracted, unmotivated, or overwhelmed. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't need motivation to do it. You do it because it's part of your system. It's automatic. You don't have an emotional debate about whether or not to brush, you just do it. Now imagine what your life would be like if you approached your goals the same way. Let's say your goal is to write a book, get in shape, or start a business. You'll have days when you feel excited. And you'll have many more days when you don't. That's normal. Moods change. Energy fluctuates. Life throws curveballs. If you rely on motivation alone, your results will always be inconsistent. But when you build a system, you stop relying on how you feel. A system is a repeatable routine that guides your actions without needing constant decision-making or emotion. It's like setting up a GPS for your behavior. You don't wake up and wonder which direction to take. The path is already mapped out. Here's how to build your discipline system in 3 steps. Step 1. Define your non-negotiables. What's one thing you want to do every day or week, no matter what? It could be: write 300 words a day. Go for a 30-minute walk. Read 10 pages of a book. Meditate for 5 minutes. Work on your business for 1 focused hour. Start small. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. Pick one habit that, if done regularly, would move you closer to your goal. This becomes your non-negotiable. It doesn't matter if it's raining, if you're tired, or if you had a bad day. You do it anyway. Think of it as brushing your teeth. You do it even when you don't feel like it. Why? Because it's part of who you are. Step 2. Schedule your system. Don't leave your discipline to chance. Put it on your calendar. This is where most people fail. They say things like, "I'll try to work out tomorrow. I'll write when I have time. I'll get to it later." But later is a lie. If it's not scheduled, it's not real. Choose a specific time and place for your non-negotiable action. For example, I write at 7 a.m. in the kitchen with a coffee. I go to the gym at 6 p.m. after work. I review my goals every Sunday morning. The more specific your routine, the easier it becomes to follow. Discipline thrives on structure. Step 3. Automate your environment. Your surroundings should support your discipline, not sabotage it. We like to think we make conscious choices. But in reality, environment often wins over willpower. If your phone is on your desk while you work, you'll check it. If your bed is next to your laptop, you'll nap. If junk food is in your kitchen, you'll eat it. So optimize your environment to make the disciplined choice the easy choice. Try these quick wins. Put your workout clothes where you'll see them in the morning. Use website blockers to eliminate distractions. Keep only the apps you need on your phone's home screen. Lay out your tools the night before: journal, laptop, water bottle, whatever you need. Remove friction. Reduce decisions. Make discipline obvious. Real talk. You won't feel like it every day. And that's the point. Discipline begins when motivation ends. That's when your system takes over. The beauty of a system is that it doesn't care about your mood. It just runs. Like software. You show up, press play, and the action happens. Over time, this repetition rewires your brain. It becomes easier and easier. You develop what's called identity-based discipline. You no longer just do disciplined things, you become a disciplined person. And here's the best part: the more you act with discipline, the better you feel. That's the irony. The action creates the emotion, not the other way around. You don't wait until you're inspired to take action. You act, and the inspiration comes. Quick practice. Try this for the next 7 days. Pick one small habit that matters to you. Schedule it for the same time and place every day. Set up your environment to support it. Track it. Use a simple calendar or habit tracker. Celebrate each success, even small wins count. After 1 week, reflect. Did you stick to it? What worked? What didn't? Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency with flexibility. Miss a day? It's okay. Just don't miss 2. Final thoughts. Discipline isn't about pushing harder. It's about designing smarter. You don't need to force yourself to be productive. You need to build a system that removes the decision fatigue and makes taking action almost automatic. Start small. Stay consistent. Focus on the process, not just the results. When you stop treating discipline as a mood and start treating it as a system, everything changes. You become calmer, more focused, and more in control. And suddenly, the impossible starts to feel doable. Principle 2. Simplicity beats complexity. When it comes to being productive and staying disciplined, most people make one huge mistake. They overcomplicate everything. They create color-coded planners. Download 7 different apps. Build morning routines that take 2 hours to finish. Write long to-do lists that feel overwhelming before the day even starts. Then guess what happens? They burn out. They get confused. They quit. Here's the truth: the simpler your system, the stronger your discipline. If your routine is too complicated to follow consistently, it will eventually fail, no matter how good it looks on paper. Let's break down why simplicity is so powerful, and how you can use it to build habits and systems that actually stick. Complexity feels productive. Simplicity is productive. We often confuse motion with progress. designing fancy spreadsheets, creating detailed plans, buying new tools, it all feels productive. But that's just motion. It's preparation, not action. Simplicity, on the other hand, removes everything unnecessary and puts your focus where it matters most, doing the thing. Here's a simple truth that changed my life. If it's not easy to start, I probably won't do it consistently. So I began removing complexity from my routines. Instead of a long workout plan, I did 20 minutes of bodyweight exercises. Instead of tracking 10 goals at once, I focused on one. Instead of writing for 2 hours, I wrote for 25 minutes. And guess what? My results got better. Because consistency always beats intensity. How complexity kills momentum. Let's imagine you want to read more books. Here's the complex approach. Spend hours researching the best reading app. Make a huge list of 50 books to read this year. Try to read for 1 hour a day starting tomorrow. Now here's the simple approach. Keep one book on your nightstand. Read 5 pages every night before bed. Which one do you think is easier to stick with? Simplicity lowers the barrier to entry. It removes friction. And most importantly, it makes it easy to begin, and beginning is the hardest part. The power of the minimum viable action. Here's a concept that will change how you approach any habit or routine. Minimum viable action, MVA. Your MVA is the smallest possible version of your goal that still counts as a win. Want to exercise? Your MVA might be 10 push-ups. Want to write a book? Your MVA might be 100 words. Want to meditate? Your MVA might be 2 minutes. This technique works because it removes the pressure of perfection. You don't need to do a full workout or write a full chapter to stay disciplined. You just need to show up. Small wins build momentum. And once you start, you'll often do more than the minimum anyway. The hardest part is just getting started. Simplify your decisions. Discipline doesn't thrive in chaos. It thrives in clarity. Decision fatigue is real. The more decisions you have to make, the less energy you have to take action. So ask yourself, what can I simplify right now? Here are a few places to start. Plan your meals ahead for the week. Wear similar outfits to reduce wardrobe stress. Create a fixed morning or evening routine. Use checklists instead of keeping everything in your head. Block your time into clear chunks: work, rest, play. The goal is to make fewer choices and better choices. When your daily life runs on simple systems, you free up energy to focus on what truly matters. The one-page rule. If your productivity system can't fit on one page, it's too complicated. Try this exercise. Take a blank sheet of paper. Write down your top 3 priorities. List your daily non-negotiables. Add a few supporting habits that keep you balanced. Done. That's your system. You don't need 20 tabs open. You don't need 10 new tools. You need one page, and the discipline to follow it. Simple doesn't mean lazy. Let's be clear, simplicity is not laziness. It's efficiency. It's about doing what works and cutting the rest. The most effective people in the world have brutally simple systems. They've removed distractions. They've eliminated excess. They focus on what moves the needle, and they ignore the rest. Think about a professional athlete. Their workout plan is simple and repeatable. Their diet is structured. Their rest is scheduled. Their gear is minimal. Why? Because they know that simplicity creates results. Practice the simplicity audit. Try this quick exercise right now. Choose one area of your life, fitness, work, learning, etc. Write down your current system or routine for that area. Ask yourself, what's working? What's unnecessary? What feels overwhelming? What can I remove, automate, or simplify? Then, rewrite the routine in the simplest form possible. Challenge yourself, could a 10-year-old follow this system? If not, make it simpler. Final thoughts. Complex systems might look impressive, but they usually don't last. Simplicity is what creates consistency. Consistency is what builds discipline. And discipline is what brings results. So the next time you find yourself overwhelmed, paralyzed, or stuck, ask yourself one simple question. How can I make this easier? When you simplify your life, you free up your mind. You take action faster. You gain confidence. You build real momentum. And that's what productive discipline is all about. Principle 3. Identity shapes discipline. Discipline isn't just about habits. It's about identity. You can try all the productivity hacks in the world. You can wake up early, use fancy planners, and set big goals. But if deep down you don't believe you're the kind of person who follows through, none of it will stick. Why? Because your actions will always align with your identity over time. If you see yourself as lazy, you'll act lazy. If you believe you're not disciplined, you'll keep proving yourself right. If you think you're a procrastinator, you'll behave like one, even if you want to change. That's why this principle matters. To become more disciplined, you must upgrade your identity. Who do you think you are? Let's start with a simple but powerful question. What do you believe about yourself when no one's watching? Not what you hope is true. What you really think. Do you tell yourself things like, I always quit things halfway. I'm not good at staying focused. I'm bad at routines. I've never been a disciplined person. If so, it's no surprise you're struggling. Because your brain will always look for ways to stay consistent with your identity, even if it hurts your results. Here's the good news. Identity is not fixed. You can shape it. The feedback loop of identity. Here's how the identity loop works. You take action. That action gives you evidence. That evidence reinforces your identity. Your identity influences future actions. Let's break that down with an example. Say you decide to run every morning. You start with just 5 minutes. After a week, you think, hey, I've been consistent. That becomes evidence. Now you begin to believe, I'm the kind of person who shows up. That belief makes it easier to do it again tomorrow. It's a cycle. The more disciplined actions you take, the more disciplined you believe you are. And the more you believe it, the easier it gets to stay on track. Discipline becomes who you are, not just something you do. Start with identity-based habits. Most people set outcome-based goals. I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to write a book. I want to wake up at 5 a.m. But here's a smarter way. Build identity-based goals. Instead of I want to lose 10 pounds, say, I'm becoming someone who moves their body daily. Instead of I want to write a book, say, I'm a writer who writes every day. Instead of I want to wake up early, say, I'm someone who starts the day with purpose. See the difference? The focus shifts from the result to the type of person you're becoming. That shift makes habits easier to maintain. Because now it's personal. You're not forcing behavior. You're expressing your identity. Use identity statements. Here's a simple but powerful tool: identity statements. These are short, present-tense affirmations that reinforce the kind of person you're becoming. Write 3 to 5 statements that reflect the identity you want to live out. Examples: I'm the kind of person who keeps promises to myself. I show up even when I don't feel like it. I'm a focused and reliable person. I follow through with what I start. I value discipline over comfort. Repeat them daily. Write them down. Say them out loud. It might feel cheesy at first, but your brain listens. And over time, these statements become your truth. Kill the old identity. One of the biggest blocks to progress is holding onto an old version of yourself. Maybe you've said things like, I've just never been consistent. That's just not my personality. I've always been a little chaotic. Here's the thing. You don't owe loyalty to your past self. You can let go of the old story. Burn it. Delete it. Outgrow it. You're not just a messy person. You're building systems. You're not just unmotivated. You're training discipline. You're not just a dreamer. You're learning to execute. Every day is a chance to decide who you are becoming and act like it. Small wins equals identity shift. Changing your identity doesn't require a big moment. It just takes small, repeated wins. You only need to do the thing once to start shifting your belief. Meditate for 3 minutes? You're a meditator. Write a paragraph? You're a writer. Go for a short walk? You're an active person. Wake up without snoozing? You're disciplined. Stack those wins. Collect evidence. Let your actions tell the story of who you are. Practice, rewire your identity. Try this simple 3-step practice. Step 1. Define your new identity. Who do you want to become? E.g., a focused person, someone who finishes what they start, etc. Step 2. Create a simple habit to match. What's one small action that aligns with that identity? Step 3. Repeat it daily and track it. Each day you follow through, you're reinforcing your new self-image. After a few weeks, you won't need to try to be that person. You'll just be living it. Final thoughts. Discipline starts in the mind, but it grows through identity. When you stop trying to act disciplined and start seeing yourself as a disciplined person, everything changes. You stop relying on motivation. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop needing to be in the mood. You just do what that kind of person does. You are not your past. You are your choices. And you choose who you become, starting today. Principle 4. Environment is stronger than willpower. Let's be honest. Willpower is overrated. Most people think they fail at discipline because they're weak or lazy. But the truth is, they're just surrounded by the wrong triggers. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You fall to the level of your environment. Your surroundings are shaping your behavior all day long, often without you even noticing. That's why the real secret to discipline isn't more willpower. It's better design. Willpower is a muscle, and it gets tired. Imagine trying to stay strong all day long using just pure effort. You wake up determined. You resist temptation. You avoid distractions. But by the afternoon, you're drained. You scroll. You snack. You quit. That's not a failure. That's human nature. Willpower is like a battery, it runs out. The solution? Stop depending on willpower and start designing an environment where discipline happens automatically. Your environment cues your behavior. You don't eat snacks because you're hungry. You eat them because they're on the counter. You don't check your phone because it's important. You check it because it vibrated, or because it's just there. You don't procrastinate because you're lazy. You do it because your workspace is cluttered, noisy, and full of distractions. You see? Your surroundings are shaping your actions. So shape your surroundings. Design makes discipline easier. Want to be more disciplined? Make the desired action easy to start and hard to avoid. Here's how. Want to read more? Leave a book on your pillow. Want to drink more water? Keep a full bottle next to your laptop. Want to work out? Sleep in your gym clothes. Want to eat healthier? Put fruit on the table and junk food out of reach. Want to focus? Silence your phone and turn it upside down. Tiny adjustments. Big impact. Because now, the environment is nudging you forward, not pulling you back. Kill the triggers that break your focus. Some things in your space make discipline impossible. They're triggers, little signals that lead straight to bad habits. Here's what to do. Step 1. Identify your triggers. What keeps pulling you off track? Notifications? YouTube? Couch? Crumbs? Step 2. Remove or replace them. Put your phone in another room while working. Block social media with a browser extension. Use noise-canceling headphones if sound distracts you. Rearrange your room so the desk is for work, not snacks. You don't need to be perfect. You just need fewer distractions and more support. Use friction to your advantage. Here's a trick. Make bad habits harder to do. Add friction. Delete the app that wastes your time. Reinstalling it is friction. Put sweets in the basement or a locked drawer. Use a complicated password for time-wasting websites. Unplug the TV during the week. The more effort a bad habit takes, the less likely you'll do it. Now do the opposite for good habits. Remove friction. Lay out your to-do list the night before. Keep your journal visible and open. Set your alarm across the room so you have to get up. Less effort. More momentum. Build zones for better focus. Your brain connects spaces with behaviors. If you scroll TikTok in bed, your brain links bed equals dopamine. If you snack while working, your brain says desk equals snack time. Let's fix that. Create zones in your environment for different activities. Desk equals work only. Bed equals sleep only. Table equals eating only. Couch equals chill time. Even in a small apartment, you can define zones. You're training your brain to switch modes based on location. That's powerful discipline. Surround yourself with discipline energy. Your environment isn't just physical. It's people too. If you're always around people who skip workouts, complain, and avoid responsibility, guess what? You'll start to do the same. But if your circle values discipline, growth, and action, you'll level up fast. Here's how to upgrade your environment through people. Join a productivity group or mastermind. Follow creators who share valuable content, not just entertainment. Talk more with friends who inspire you to stay on track. Limit time with people who drain your focus. Energy is contagious. Protect yours. Practice, reset your space. Let's get practical. Here's your 3-step challenge. Pick one habit you want to build. Example, writing every morning. Optimize your environment for that habit. Clean your desk. Put a notebook and pen out the night before. Block distracting sites until noon. Remove friction for that one action. Make it so easy, your brain has no excuse. Do this today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Start shaping your space to shape your life. Final thoughts. You don't need more motivation. You need fewer distractions. You don't need superhuman discipline. You need smarter systems. Your environment is either pulling you forward or holding you back. And you have the power to design it. When you create the right space, discipline becomes the default, not the struggle. Principle 5. Your calendar is a mirror. Want to know what really matters to someone? Don't ask them. Don't listen to what they say they care about. Look at their calendar. What gets scheduled is what gets done. And what doesn't get scheduled? Does it really matter? Your time reveals your values. People say things like, I want to write a book. I want to get fit. I want to learn a new skill. But then you look at their calendar, and none of those things are on it. Instead, their time is eaten up by meetings, scrolling, errands, and catching up. Here's the harsh truth. Your schedule shows your real priorities, not your intentions. So if you want to become more disciplined, stop trying to guess what's important. Start by looking at your calendar. Time is the most honest feedback. Think of your calendar as a mirror. It reflects how you're actually living, not how you wish you were living. Do this now. Look at the past 7 days. How many hours went to your goals? How much time was spent reacting instead of creating? How much was wasted on things you didn't even enjoy? Be honest. Then ask yourself this. If I keep living like this, where will I be in 6 months? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, that's good. Because it means you're waking up. Discipline starts with time blocking. Want to take back control of your time? Start using time blocks. Time blocking means assigning specific hours to specific tasks before the day begins. It's like budgeting your money, but for your minutes. Here's how to do it. Pick your top 3 priorities for the day. Assign each one a specific time slot. Stick to those blocks like appointments. This one habit can change your productivity overnight. Because now, every hour has a job. No more guessing. No more drifting. Default calendars equals default lives. Most people don't control their time. They react to it. They let others fill their schedule. They wait for motivation. They answer emails all day. But here's the truth. If you don't plan your time, someone else will. That's why disciplined people don't live on default. They live on purpose. They don't wait to find time. They make it by protecting it. Protect your peak hours. Everyone has golden hours, times when your brain is sharpest. For some people, it's early morning. For others, it's late at night. Find yours. Then guard them fiercely. Use your peak hours for your most important work, not busy work. Don't waste them on email, errands, or passive tasks. That's like using a Ferrari to deliver pizza. Protect your brain's best energy. That's discipline. Make your calendar your coach. Your calendar isn't just a schedule. It can be your coach, your accountability partner, your guide. Here's how to upgrade your calendar. Name your blocks. Don't just write work. Write edit chapter 3 or write sales email. Color code your time. Use different colors for work, exercise, learning, rest, and relationships. Review daily. At the end of each day, ask, what worked? What didn't? What needs adjusting? Now your calendar isn't just reactive, it's reflective. It helps you course correct as you go. Say no with your schedule. One of the hardest parts of discipline? Saying no. But here's the trick. Let your calendar say no for you. When someone asks, can you meet at 10? You check your calendar and say, I already have something scheduled. Even if that something is writing, thinking, resting, or working out. Your calendar gives you permission to protect your time, without guilt. And when you fill it with what matters, it becomes easier to say no to what doesn't. Practice. Build your ideal week. Let's make this real. Here's your challenge. Design your ideal week. Map out what your days should look like, based on your goals and energy. Example. Morning, deep work, writing, creating, solving. Afternoon, collaboration, calls, emails. Evening, recovery, gym, walk, read, relax. Time block your next 3 days. Use this format. 8 to 10 a.m., Project X. 10 to 10:30 a.m., break. 10:30 to 12 p.m., deep work. 12 to 1 p.m., lunch. 1 to 3 p.m., meetings. 3 to 5 p.m., admin or light tasks. Stick to it. Adjust as needed. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just intentional. Final thoughts. Discipline doesn't live in your dreams. It lives in your calendar. If you want to get in shape, write a book, build a business, or change your life. You don't need to wait for motivation. You need to schedule it. Because what gets scheduled, gets done. And your time tells the truth. Look at your calendar, and you'll see your future. Change your calendar, and you'll change your life. Principle 6. Discipline is a skill, not a trait. Most people think discipline is something you're born with. Like brown eyes or a fast metabolism. They say, she's just naturally focused. He's wired that way. I could never be like that. But here's the truth. Discipline is not a personality trait. It's a skill. And just like any other skill, it can be learned, practiced, and improved. You're not undisciplined, you're untrained. Imagine someone trying to lift 100 kilograms at the gym on their first day. If they can't do it, does that mean they're weak forever? Of course not. It just means they haven't built the strength yet. Same goes for discipline. If you struggle to wake up early, stick to a plan, or stay focused, that doesn't mean you're a failure. It means your discipline muscle is undertrained, not broken. And like any muscle, it gets stronger with use. Stop waiting for motivation. A big reason people struggle with discipline? They're waiting for motivation. But motivation is emotional. It comes and goes. Discipline is structural. It shows up even when you don't feel like it. Think of it this way. Motivation is the spark. Discipline is the engine. Sparks are useful, but they burn out fast. Engines keep going. So stop asking yourself, do I feel like doing this right now? Ask instead, what would the disciplined version of me do? Then do it, whether you feel like it or not. That's how you build the habit. The reps are more important than the result. When you're building discipline, the most important thing is showing up. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. If you said you'll write for 30 minutes a day, write. Even if it's messy. If you plan to work out, move your body. Even if it's only 10 minutes. Each time you follow through, you're sending a message to your brain. I keep my word. I do hard things. I'm becoming someone disciplined. That repetition rewires your identity. And your identity drives your habits. Train in discomfort. Discipline isn't built in comfort zones. It's forged in discomfort. You get stronger every time you sit with boredom instead of picking up your phone. Push through one more set at the gym. Wake up when your alarm rings, not on the 5th snooze. Focus on a task without checking messages every 10 minutes. It's not glamorous. It's not always fun. But it's powerful. Because each moment of discomfort is a training session. And the more reps you do, the less painful it becomes. Soon, what used to be hard becomes automatic. Create micro-wins daily. One of the best ways to build the skill of discipline? Stack small wins. Here are examples. Make your bed every morning. Prepare your clothes the night before. Set a timer and work in short sprints. Eat a healthy breakfast instead of skipping it. Write 1 paragraph, even if you plan to write 5. These aren't dramatic changes. But they build momentum. And momentum is everything. Because once you start seeing yourself as someone who follows through, you start acting like it in bigger areas too. Practice self-command. Here's a fun exercise. At random moments in the day, give yourself small, harmless commands, then follow them. Example. Stand up and drink a glass of water. Turn off your phone for 15 minutes. Sit down and write 100 words, now. This sounds silly. But it trains mental obedience. You're practicing doing what you said you'd do, instantly. That's pure discipline. Over time, your brain gets used to listening to you. Not your excuses. Not your impulses. Not your distractions. Just you. Progress, not perfection. Many people fail at building discipline because they expect perfection. They mess up once and say, "See? I can't do this. I knew I'd quit. I'm not built for this." But perfection is not the goal. Improvement is. If you are 1% more disciplined today than yesterday, that's progress. If you did 4 days out of 7, that's better than 0. Track your streaks. Celebrate consistency. Forgive yourself quickly, then get back on track. Discipline isn't all or nothing. It's a long-term relationship. Practice, discipline skill workout. Here's a simple 5-day challenge to train your discipline like a muscle. Day 1. Wake up at the same time and make your bed. Day 2. Time block your morning and stick to it. Day 3. Go on a 30-minute walk without your phone. Day 4. Choose one task and work on it for 25 minutes with full focus. Day 5. End the day by planning tomorrow in detail. Do this for just 5 days. It's a discipline warm-up. And it works. Final thoughts. You were born bad at discipline. You just haven't trained it yet. Discipline isn't something you wait for. It's something you build. 1 rep at a time. 1 decision at a time. 1 promise kept again and again. So forget about being naturally disciplined. Start practicing the skill. Because every skill improves with use. And your discipline is no different. Principle 7. The power of rituals over willpower. Have you ever noticed how exhausting it is to constantly make decisions? Should I work out now or later? Should I cook or order food? Should I scroll for 5 more minutes or get back to work? That mental tug-of-war drains you. And the more choices you have to make, the weaker your self-control becomes. This is called decision fatigue. And it kills discipline. The solution? Stop depending on willpower. Start depending on rituals. Willpower is limited. Systems are not. Willpower is like a battery. It runs low with each use. That's why it's easier to eat clean in the morning and binge at night. Or easier to say no to distractions early and give in later. But here's the secret. People who seem disciplined don't have more willpower. They just use it less often. Why? Because they've created rituals, routines so automatic, they don't require willpower at all. Rituals reduce friction. When you build a ritual, you reduce the mental resistance to doing the thing. No need to debate, delay, or decide. You just do. For example, instead of should I work today? At 9 o'clock, I sit at my desk and open my laptop. Instead of do I feel like going to the gym? After work, I go to the gym. Always. Instead of what should I write? At 8 a.m., I open my notes and write 1 page. There's no emotion involved. No negotiation. Just action. That's how you make discipline automatic. Build a ritual, not a resolution. Resolutions sound great, but they rarely stick. Rituals stick because they're designed to repeat. Let's compare. Resolution: I want to be more productive. Ritual: I start every day by planning my top 3 tasks. Resolution: I want to get fit. Ritual: every weekday at 7 a.m., I walk for 30 minutes. Resolution: I want to read more. Ritual: I read 10 pages before bed. No screens after 9 p.m. One is wishful. The other is practical. Rituals win every time. Design your environment to support rituals. Want your rituals to stick? Make them easy to start. This is called environment design, shaping your surroundings to guide your behavior. Examples: want to eat healthier? Put fruit on the counter. Hide the junk food. Want to write daily? Keep your notebook or laptop ready on your desk. Want to meditate? Leave a cushion and timer in plain sight. Your environment should pull you toward the ritual, not push you away from it. Remember, the easier it is to start, the more likely you are to follow through. Attach rituals to triggers. Here's a powerful hack. Anchor your ritual to an existing habit. This is called habit stacking. It works like this. After existing habit, I will, new ritual. Examples: after I brush my teeth, I journal for 2 minutes. After I pour my morning coffee, I review my to-do list. After I come home from work, I change into workout clothes. Why it works? Because your brain already expects the first habit, so the new one rides along. That's how rituals become seamless. Keep it simple. Repeat it daily. The best rituals are small and repeatable. Don't aim for 1-hour routines from day one. Start with 5 minutes. Or 2. Example: meditate for 2 minutes. Stretch for 1 minute. Write 1 sentence. Review 1 goal. Then repeat. Daily. Or at least consistently. Because rituals are not about intensity, they're about identity. Each time you do it, you reinforce, I am someone who does this. And that belief becomes the engine for long-term discipline. Let your rituals evolve. At first, your ritual might look like this. Wake up, drink water, journal for 5 minutes, walk outside. But over time, it might evolve. Wake up earlier, add meditation, add a short workout, plan the day. That's the beauty of rituals. They grow with you. You don't need to get it perfect at the beginning. Just start. Let the system improve itself with practice. Practice. Create your morning and evening rituals. Here's a practical exercise. Build 2 simple rituals, one for the morning, one for the evening. Morning ritual, 5 to 15 minutes. Wake up. Drink water. Stretch or move. Review top 3 goals. Start your most important task. Evening ritual, 5 to 15 minutes. Review what went well. Write down tomorrow's 3 priorities. Prepare clothes or tools. No screens 30 minutes before sleep. Read or journal. Keep it flexible, but follow the structure. Do it for 7 days. Track how you feel. You'll notice more focus, less stress, smoother days. Final thoughts. Willpower is a good spark, but rituals are the fuel that keep you going. The less you depend on motivation, the more reliable you become. So build your life around rituals. Small, simple, repeatable. They remove friction. They reduce decision fatigue. and they turn discipline into your default mode. Because when it's part of your system, you don't have to force it anymore. You just live it. Principle 8. Master the art of starting small. We often think success comes from taking massive action. Big launches. Big transformations. Big leaps. But that belief? It's a trap. It paralyzes people. They wait until everything is just right and never begin. Here's the truth. Big change starts small. And discipline is built on doing tiny things, consistently. Why small wins matter. Tiny actions might seem unimpressive. But they're powerful because they do 3 things. They lower resistance. They build confidence. They create momentum. When something feels easy to do, you're more likely to do it. And when you do it, even once, you begin to believe. I can do this. That belief? It's how discipline starts. The myth of motivation. Most people think they need to feel ready before taking action. But that's backwards. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Think about it. You don't wait to feel strong to go to the gym. You go to the gym, and then you feel strong. You don't wait to feel creative to write. You write, and the creativity follows. That's the secret. Start small. Let action pull you forward. The 2-minute rule. This is a game changer. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. Or, start with just 2 minutes. Examples. Want to read more? Open a book and read 1 page. Want to exercise? Do 5 squats or stretch for 2 minutes. Want to meditate? Set a 2-minute timer and sit. Why it works? It feels too easy to skip. It lowers your brain's resistance. It makes starting automatic. And once you start, you often do more. But even if you don't, you're still reinforcing the identity. I'm the kind of person who shows up. Focus on the action, not the outcome. Most people obsess over goals like lose 10 kilograms, make $10,000, write a book. But these outcomes are slow to change. And slow results kill motivation. Instead, focus on the action, what you control today. Examples. Goal. Write a book. Action, write 100 words a day. Goal, get fit. Action, move for 10 minutes every day. Goal, build a business. Action, reach out to 1 new contact daily. When you shrink the goal to a daily action, you remove pressure, and you make progress. Turn success into a chain. Here's a powerful visual method. Don't break the chain. It works like this. Print out a calendar. Each day you do your small habit, put a big X. Do it again the next day. Soon, you'll have a chain. Now your brain thinks, I can't break the chain. It taps into your need for completion, for consistency. And it turns discipline into a game. It's visual. It's satisfying. And it works. Shrink the habit until it's impossible to fail. Let's say you want to build a new habit, but you failed before. Here's how to fix it. Make the habit so small that failure is impossible. Want to build a journaling habit? Just write 1 sentence. Want to start working out again? Just do one push-up. Want to organize your space? Just clean one drawer. It may sound silly, but here's the trick. You can always do more, but you never skip the small version. That's how you stay consistent. That's how you build momentum. And that's how discipline becomes effortless. Progress over perfection. You won't always feel like doing it. You won't always do it perfectly. But that's okay. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about showing up. Even on a bad day. Even when it's not convenient. Even if it's just for 2 minutes. Because every time you show up, you cast a vote for your future self. And those small votes? They win elections. They build confidence. They change your identity. And they compound into something great. Practice. Start something tiny today. Let's make it practical. Pick one habit you want to build. Then shrink it. Want to learn a new language? One new word a day. Want to wake up earlier? Go to bed 5 minutes earlier tonight. Want to build a side hustle? Spend 5 minutes researching or writing ideas. Then track it. One small action. Once a day. No excuses. Do it for 7 days straight. Then look back and feel how powerful that small start really is. Final thoughts. Starting small isn't weakness. It's wisdom. Because once you start, you can grow. But if you never start, nothing changes. So stop waiting. Stop planning. Stop needing to feel ready. Just take the tiniest step forward. Today. That's how discipline is born. That's how momentum builds. And that's how your life transforms, one small step at a time. Principle 9. Make it a lifestyle, not a fight. You've learned how to build discipline. How to control your attention. How to manage your time, overcome emotion, and start small. But there's one last shift to make. Discipline must stop feeling like a daily battle. It must become your default setting. Something that flows naturally from how you see yourself, how you design your life, and how you make decisions. In short, it must become your lifestyle. Stop white-knuckling discipline. Here's the trap many people fall into. They see discipline as something they have to force. They use willpower. They grind. They push through pain. And yes, that can work. But only for a while. Because willpower is like a battery. Eventually, it runs out. If you always have to fight with yourself just to do the right thing, you will burn out. That's not sustainable. That's not freedom. Make discipline easier by default. Discipline becomes natural when you design your environment, habits, and identity to support it. Here's how to do that. Shape your environment. Your environment either helps you stay disciplined, or it fights against you. So change it. Want to eat healthier? Don't keep junk food at home. Keep healthy snacks visible. Want to stop wasting time on your phone? Put it in another room. Use website blockers. Want to focus better? Clean your workspace. Remove visual distractions. Design your surroundings to pull you toward the right action, so discipline requires less effort. Build rituals, not decisions. Every decision takes mental energy. So the more choices you have to make, the harder discipline becomes. Solution: build routines. Routines turn decisions into habits. They remove friction. They save energy. Examples: always go to the gym at the same time. Always start your morning with a specific routine. Always check your to-do list at the same hour. This creates rhythm. And rhythm creates momentum. Align discipline with your identity. You act in line with who you believe you are. If you believe, "I'm lazy. I always quit," then your actions will follow that story. But if you tell yourself, "I'm a consistent person. I follow through," you'll act differently, automatically. So ask yourself, who do I want to be? What does that kind of person do daily? Then prove it to yourself with tiny actions. Every action you take becomes a vote for your new identity. And when discipline matches your identity, it stops feeling like a fight. It just feels like you. Redefine fun and freedom. Discipline is not the opposite of freedom. It's the path to it. When you don't have discipline, you're a slave to emotion, distraction, impulse. But when you have discipline, you create focus, health, confidence, freedom to build the life you actually want. Discipline isn't punishment. It's power. And it's deeply satisfying. Celebrate and enjoy the process. If discipline always feels like suffering, you won't stick with it. You need joy. Find ways to make the process fun. Listen to music while you work. Turn habits into a game. Track your progress and celebrate small wins. Make it rewarding. Make it something you look forward to. Because when the journey feels good, you don't need to force it. You naturally keep going. Practice, craft your lifestyle foundation. Let's build a system around your discipline. Answer these. What are my top 3 daily habits for a disciplined life? Choose small, consistent ones, like journaling, exercising, or planning. What distractions do I need to remove from my environment? Be honest. One small change can make a big difference. What new identity am I building? Choose a statement like, "I am a focused, calm, and consistent person." How will I reward myself along the way? Choose something meaningful and not self-sabotaging. Put your answers somewhere visible. Review them daily. Let them guide your actions until they become your norm. Final thoughts. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's not about being a machine. And it's not about forcing yourself to suffer. It's about learning how to live on purpose. To align your actions with your values. To protect your time. To take care of your energy. To move forward, even when it's not easy. And once that becomes your lifestyle, you stop relying on motivation. You don't try to be disciplined, you just are. And that's where real change happens. That's the moment you become unstoppable.